The monthly meeting of the Annapolis City Council's Public Safety Committee will now come to order. It is 6:05 p.m. on Monday, June the 3rd, 2019. Call to order. Roll call. Alderman Payon.
Here.
Here. Rhonda Pendell Charles, here. Approval of the agenda. Any changes to the agenda should be made here. And Alderman Payon, I'm going to call all these combined, if you don't mind.
No, don't mind at all.
Okay, approval of the agenda, business before the committee. We have, oh, yes. We're going to vote on the approval of the agenda. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? Nay. All right. Business before the
What would happen
committee.
if I would have voted no?
Then you can finish eating your sandwich over there.
Just
All
curious.
right. We have before us Deputy Chief O'Malley as well as Mr. David Mandel from the Office of Emergency Management and Deputy Chief O'Malley from the Annapolis Fire Department. And we will be calling ID 33418. Oh, remove that. ID 32918, Public Safety Spotlight, Annapolis Fire Department. ID 33118, Public Safety Did You Know, Annapolis Fire Department. ID 33518, Annapolis Fire Department Update, Written Report and Comments Year-to-Date Overdose Summary. And ID 33018, Public Safety Spotlight, Office of Emergency Management. And ID 33218, Public Safety Did You Know, Office of Emergency Management. If you have noticed, I did skip over ID 32818 and ID 33318. Public Safety Spotlight, Annapolis Police Department, and Public Safety Did You Know, Annapolis Police Department, because I do not see a representative audience from the Police Department. So we will start with the Annapolis Fire Department. Deputy Chief O'Malley is here with us. Good evening, Chief.
Good evening. Thanks. I guess I got it by default because I was using the table.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate that.
Not a problem.
So for our spotlight this month, we just wanted to recognize Battalion Chief Carol Spriggs. Just wanted to let you and the public know that last week the Anne Arundel County Police Department honored him with the Medal of Honor for his efforts in the 888 Bestgate Road active shooter incident. So we just wanted to let you all know that that had occurred, and he was honored by him and two other police officers from the Annapolis Police Department by the Anne Arundel County Police, and they got that recognition.
Thank you. Congratulations to Carol Spriggs.
Yeah, it's well deserved. As you know, Carol's a law enforcement officer and runs our bomb squad, so he was there relatively quick and was able to assist with that situation. One other one we have is we get what they call STEMI reports from the Anne Arundel Medical Center, and basically that is an incident where our crews go out to a call and a person is having a severe cardiac event, and they are able to be treated at the scene and get to the cath lab at Anne Arundel Medical Center in a quick period of time. And on this incident, we had one of our paramedics, Bradley Clark, and his partner, Wayne Pratt, along with the engine company from the Annapolis Next Anne Arundel County Station 8 that responded to a elderly gentleman who was 91 years old and was having chest pains. He had been released from the Washington Hospital Center sometime previously for some medical issues. But at that day, he was having severe chest pains. And the bottom line is they got to this patient, they treated him with advanced medical care and had him to the cath lab. From the time we put our hands on the patient to the time he was in the cath lab getting stents put into his heart was within 54 minutes from the time we were on call. So we just wanted, that was a good job with them being able to recognize the cardiac event that was occurring and working with our partners at the hospital to be able to get that person on the surgery table and have it done within 54 minutes is pretty good. So we just wanted to give a shout out to them also.
Absolutely. Thank you.
You know, I think you guys got me there even faster.
Well, we're glad to hear that.
It's been, well, I'm very glad you did. It was 11 years ago, but thank you again. Never
So-
miss an opportunity to say that for you guys.
We appreciate it. We're glad we were there, able to help. Captain Miller is the captain from the Taylor Avenue Station. He was supposed to give the Did You Know part of our session tonight. He is the captain there at the Taylor Avenue Station, which runs our Special Operations Unit. Unfortunately, he is out with an injury and was unable to be here tonight, so I told him I would give you his little update.
Okay.
And basically, they wanted the As You Know portion of it, just for you to be aware that the Taylor Avenue Station, which has 8 people assigned daily, runs our Special Operations Unit in the city. So those firefighters are also trained in hazardous materials, entry, and detection. They also do rope rescue, high-angle rescue. They're a swift water team, so if a car is in a flooded area, they're the ones that go out and get suited up and go get you out of the car or swift water area. So they have a small boat there that was purchased with the volunteers of the independent fire company that they operate out of that station, along with our rescue squad and our technical rescue units. So that crew there is basically double duties, and I think, and I've told you before, that that's what makes our department so great, is so many people wear multiple hats, are able to get us to where we are in the department and helped us get our Class 1 ISO certification. But these firefighters, paramedics do all those other jobs, so not only are they firefighters, they have to train in these other aspects. But one example of it is for the special events, whether it's a large race or a game at the Navy Stadium, we put crews out there and they actually go out and do air monitoring for chemical type of issues in the air, whether it's a chemical attack, a chemical leak. So they do remote monitoring of those areas. They also have those go back to our command vehicle where they can monitor them remotely. They walk around with portable detectors, and anytime they have a hit, whether it's a carbon monoxide, a chemical odor, they're able to relatively go out quickly and identify whether or not it's a hazard or not. And it's a good thing, because when you have 30,000 people in one area and you have an issue, we're able to get there quickly and also be able to detect it, identify it before it becomes a major issue, because you don't really want to evacuate 30,000 people from the stadium if it's not an issue. So those crews are out there. They do that for every special event. We had a race last weekend. The crews from that station were with our medics. We're out there on the special events gators. The bomb squad does pre-sweeps prior to that. So that's just one of the areas where they do these special events, where they wear those multiple hats, but they're out there to provide these services to the city with the amount of people that we currently have without additional resources. So we just want to do that as our Did You Know section of it.
Absolutely, and that's a large reason why we have a Class 1 fire department.
Lastly, I have just some updates on our responses for overdoses last month. We had 20 suspected heroin overdoses. We administered Narcan 6 times. Our Narcan Leave Behind program that we've identified and showed you before, where our people go out and they're able to train civilians and leave Narcan behind for our populations that are in need of it. We've had 5 Narcan Leave Behind programs, and we had 6 safe station calls over the last month. With that, we're continuing to monitor the ER wait times and the reroute. As for last month, Anne Arundel Medical Center was on yellow alert 7 times, and they went to reroute 29 times. And Madam Chair was there the other day. We actually met with the hospital to try to address some of these wait times that we have in the emergency rooms. We've had medic units that have been there for more than 3 hours, sometimes up to 5 hours, not being able to get the patient off of their bed. So we're working closely with our counterparts in Anne Arundel County, the Anne Arundel Medical Center, and Baltimore Washington Medical Center to try to make some improvements on how we can turn it around. Because for us, reroutes good for the hospitals, because you're able to take them to a different hospital. Now, our citizens don't necessarily want that. They're here, they want to go to Anne Arundel Medical Center. You tell them they're going to Washington, Baltimore, Washington, or Bowie, sometimes they get upset with that. But for us, we can't turn down patients. We can't reroute. And when our medic units are tied up for 5 hours, that means the medic unit's got to come from somewhere else to treat our citizens. So we're trying to work on that closely with the hospitals, and we're just bringing that to your attention.
You don't have a
Absolutely.
choice.
No, we don't have a choice. We can't reroute, and we can't shut down. We can't tell people when they call 911, well, sorry, everything's booked up. So we will get them there. We will get resources to them, but unfortunately, it's taxing the resources that we have currently.
Okay, all right.
The only other thing is we are in possession of the State Fire Marshal's fire deaths in Maryland report for 2018. We just wanted to once again show, and this is a statistic that we like. I'm not going to avoid because we don't want to have it, but there were no fire deaths in the city of Annapolis last year.
Thank goodness.
There were 20 in Anne Arundel County, so
Okay.
that's out there. And the only other thing I have is on our pop-up camps, we haven't heard any dates yet, so if you hear anything, let us know.
Okay, are you gonna provide us with available or good dates? Because it's probably easier for you all to pick the date or available dates rather than us, because you know your schedules and who's available, and that's rather than us tell you a date and you work around that.
Okay, we can do that.
Yeah, why don't you give us about 4 or 5
Yeah.
available dates that you know work for your schedule as far ahead as you've scheduled your personnel, and that would make it, because we don't really, it can be any day for us pretty much. It's you all that it's harder to work around, and so why don't you all give us 4 or 5 dates that are available, and then we can work with that. That shouldn't be a problem at all.
Okay, we'll take a look at that. That's about all I have. Anything else?
Great, no, thank you so
Madam
much.
Chair?
Yes, sir.
How many statewide fire deaths were there last year?
Ooh, that's a good question. It was, I should have that right off the top of my head, but I don't. 71.
Wow.
There was 71 deaths in 54 fires. Oh, I'm sorry, for 2018 was 62. It was 71 a year prior to that. But it's still high for
It
the
is
state of
high.
Maryland. And several of them were, had more than one fatality in the fire.
Oh,
That's much higher than I expected.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. We're still battling it. We've been very lucky here. It's been about 10 years since we've had one, and we continue to, and hope to maintain that next year to still have no fire deaths.
okay, all right. Any other questions
Good
on
job.
the Bayonne?
Nope.
Okay, thank you so much, great job, appreciate it. Okay, Mr. Mandel, we're up here, Office of Emergency Management. Thank you so much on your spotlight, and did you know? Good evening.
Aha, good evening.
Good evening.
Alderwoman Pindell Charles and Alderman Payon. Dave Mandel, once again, on behalf of the Office of Emergency Management. So the Office of Emergency Management spotlight tonight is, I would like to recognize my colleague, Mary Kate Seborowski. Last week at the Emergency Managers Statewide Conference, she was awarded with a Rookie of the Year award.
Wow, okay,
So she was chosen above, I believe, 4 other nominees and recognized as the statewide, Rookie of the Year for the entire state of Maryland,
all right.
which really goes to show the talent that we have in our city and in our Office of Emergency Management. And you know what's interesting is when you talk to people, you say, Mary Kate got this award. No one's surprised that she got the award. People say, Mary Kate's the rookie of the, she's a rookie? That's a surprise. And the answer is she has been here longer with the city than more than 1 year, but the category encompasses new graduates up to 3 years, and she's been here
okay.
just under 3 years. So that may answer that question if you were wondering. That she received that award, and we're just thrilled to see her work recognized on a statewide level. It's
Excellent,
It's-
wonderful. Not surprised, but yeah, the rookie kind of was like,
exactly.
I thought maybe a year, but okay, if it's up to 3 years.
She's been in the office. We got her right out of grad school, and it's been about 2.5 years or so. So she's still young in her career, and to be recognized is tremendous.
All right. Congratulations to Mary Kay.
Surprising only in the sense that somebody who deserved it actually got what
There you go. How about that? How about that? Sometimes good things, the right things happen, right? Also at the conference, by the way, we presented, our own Hannah Thomas presented on the Annapolis Special Assistance roster and new and innovative ways that the City of Annapolis Office of Emergency Management is reaching out to the community, such as through the Nextdoor platform, for example, which got some good attendance and some great feedback. So it was a very successful conference, I'm told. I was here holding down the fort.
All right.
But they had a very successful conference. And in terms of the Did You Know, today is June 3rd, which means that we are now officially in hurricane season as of 2 days ago, Saturday. So
I knew that.
I hope you saw the press release that the Emergency Management sent out last week. If not, I can obviously get you a copy. But this is a great time, right? The weather's getting warmer. You can see the heat coming through. It's been 90 a couple days already this season. Now is the time to get ready. Is this is the message that we're pushing, because the storms typically come in August and September most predominantly, but we've seen early season storms, we've seen late season storms like Sandy was an October storm. So we're telling people now's the time to get ready. And one of the tools we use for that, which you may not be aware of, is called HurEvac, which is a tool reserved for government emergency management use and allows us to track the hurricane with Weather Service, actually with National Hurricane Center data that's interlaid with travel time, so we can estimate evacuation, the need for it, the onset and the time, the decision, at which point that decision has to be made within a matter of hours. So the precision is something that's been very useful. I love to take school kids into the Emergency Operations Center and say, put yourself in the shoes of the Emergency Operations Center, of the manager of the EOC. And this is the point in the middle of the night when Sandy was coming, and you can see where that decision point is going to be. Do you evacuate? Do you not? Anyway, but it's been a great, useful tool for decision making, but also for educating others. And that's a tool that we rely on heavily that not everybody knows about outside our office. So I wanted to highlight that in addition to the hurricane season.
Okay.
And that's what I wanted to bring to your attention today.
Okay, great. Thank you so much, Mr. Mandel. Alderman Payon, any questions?
No.
Okay, all right. Thank you very much and for bringing that to us, and congratulations again to MK.
Thank you.
All right. Anything else for the good of the order?
Well, I think maybe for the next meeting, we need to get whoever, maybe our police chief at that point in here and, talk about the gunfire that's been going on.
Okay.
I think that that's something that we need to address here as a committee, and I'm not sure what we can do about it, but I do think that we ought to at least hear, where we're going, where the police department is going with this.
Absolutely. Great suggestion. We will do
If
that.
there's nothing else to be said.
I want to
would move-
recognize two Annapolis residents here, Mr. DeJuan Gay from Ward 6 and Ms. Lynn Farrell. Thank you for joining us this evening. Appreciate it. Yes, Deputy Chief.
Madam Chair, if I could clarify one
yeah.
thing. I've been
Yes,
working
sir.
on stats all day, and I think I said 20 for Anne Arundel County, which is not true. The 20 was Baltimore City and Baltimore County together was 24. Anne Arundel County had 6 fire deaths last year,
Okay.
and that was in 4 fires, and I wanted to make sure that the audience knew that
Absolutely.
that was the correct statement. I've been working on stats all day for another thing, and that was the wrong stat.
That's all
So,
right.
Just
Okay.
wanted to clarify.
Thank you for the correction.
I'm on the
Appreciate it.
finance committee. Believe me, I can relate.
All right. Nothing else for the good of the order?
Well,
Do I hear a
I would,
motion?
Madam Chair, I would move that we adjourn.
We normally don't, but if you would like to make a comment, you may step forward.
Dewan Gay, 409 Hilltop Lane, Annapolis, Maryland, 21403. So my comment is in regard to, I'm not sure if you guys have seen the video, and I fear that at 7 o'clock a bunch of residents will show up here because we thought it was on the time of the regular scheduled council meeting. But the video in regards to what happened this weekend in Eastport Terrace at the intersection of Frederick Douglass and Medgar Evers, it was a police involved incident.
I saw a video, about a fairly lengthy video, that showed absolutely nothing in terms of what happened, and all it was a bunch of people cussing at the police.
Okay.
I'm not sure what video you're
Alderman
talking about,
Payon,
but I saw
prior-
it 4 or 5 times on.
Yeah, well, prior to that, so my fear is that you guys were at the, well, you weren't, not Alderman Payon, but Alderman Pendell Charles, you were at the press conference the weekend before Memorial Day when we asked the police chief and the Mayor Buckley, what were their plans moving forward to, kind of secure and stop the violence in those communities. They had 2 simple answers, to increase police presence and to increase the amount of traffic stops. And I brought up the question that day that I fear that it would increase the violence or the hatred between the police and the community and the community and the police. And it did exactly that. 1 week later, we had an increased presence of police in our communities on a normal weekend night. And as residents do, they were outside and they were asked to move for what reason they were not told to do so. And I'd be more than happy to get you the video beforehand, which showed an officer from the Annapolis Police Department, become enraged by a verbal response from a guy that he was not even arresting.
I gotta say, that one is the one I kept looking for and I
Yeah.
never found.
Well, I'd be more than happy to get that to you.
Okay.
But what took place in the video was that a resident made a comment directed to the general crowd, and an officer who I have seen in the community involved in a number of incidents screamed, "Arrest his blank," to another officer. They immediately ran over to him. This guy, unsuspecting not to get arrested from a verbal assault, was picked up, slammed on the ground, and put in a chokehold and laid unconscious on the ground. That is all on video. While he was unconscious, officers didn't rush over, to aid him from the bleeding that he was suffering or from being unconscious. Instead, they put him in handcuffs and dragged him to the middle of the street while officers surrounded him, as if that was an example of what to be set if this continued. And that type of policing is just unnecessary, especially in our communities as we try to rebuild that relationship. I'm not sure what you guys are able to do as a public safety committee, but I think an investigation should definitely take place. This kid has stitches in his eye, bruises all over the place, and it just should
Do
not
we have the
happen.
name of the officer?
I do not, but I can get it for you.
I said, do we? I mean, the police apparently.
Oh, I'm sure they do, yeah.
Okay.
Or whoever the managing supervisor was on the scene. I'm sure they do have his name. But yeah, as I explained, it was something that it looked almost fake. You expect to see those things maybe sometimes on TV in different parts of the country, but never in your, literally, this was right out front of my house.
I agree.
Yeah, so I just would hope that you guys are able to, use whatever power you have to push for an investigation or to push for questioning from the acting police chief or that officer. Like I said, I fear that some residents will be here at 7 o'clock because they thought that was the regular time and they wanted to express their opinions as well. But yeah, that was just a major concern of ours this past week.
Well, the city council meeting is going to meet at 7. This is just the public safety committee meeting. But I hear what you're saying. No, I have not seen the video at all, so I don't know what exactly happened. I'm just getting bits and pieces. Yeah. I have not had an opportunity to speak with the acting police chief at all about it, but I can pretty much assure you there's going to be an investigation just based on the incident itself, but it sounds pretty serious to me. So whatever the residents come and testify to this evening, we will be certainly in tune and listen to everything that they have to say, and it will be a part of the record and will be acted upon in a correct manner. And so this is something definitely that needs to be investigated. I don't see any reason why it would not be. So, but thank you so much for bringing this to the Public Safety Committee's attention. The other thing is, of course, we're in the process, and I'm not involved in the process of hiring a new police chief. And as you know, one of the main drivers of who the police chief will be community policing, and that is a huge portion of what we want in this city. This city is small enough where community policing should be a given. And so that's definitely in the works. I don't know when the new police chief will be selected. Of course, it has to go through the mayor and as well as the council. So I'm guessing, this is a guess, that we should have one in place by July the 1st, the next fiscal year. So this is something that definitely will be on the radar and that we will be pushing for, because community policing is going to and should be something that everybody wants, and that can cure whatever ails our communities. And so, yes, thank you so much again for bringing this to the Public Safety Committee's attention. I will be looking forward to what our acting police chief will do as far as an investigation is concerned.
Absolutely. Thank you for allowing me to speak.
Thank you, Mr. Gay.
Please don't interpret what I said as having any opinion one way or the other, you got to realize I'm a career prosecutor, and I'm kind of like the guy on the old, way before you were born, TV series Dragnet. Just the facts, ma'am. Just the facts. And I kept reading all of this stuff online, and they were saying, well, the cops did this, they did that. All you got to do is look at the video. And I'd go back, I'd look at the video, and all I'm hearing is, you know, bunch of references to the police's ancestry and, you know, cops standing around trying to keep order, and really not much was going on in what I saw. And I'm thinking to myself, you know, what do you mean? I mean, you keep making reference to a video. The only video that seems to be online on social media really doesn't show much of anything.
Yeah, I've seen that same video. That was the aftermath, and like I said,
Yeah, it was
willing to get that
afterwards,
video to you.
You know, I want to see what happened.
Yeah.
And if, you know, if there's police misconduct involved, then, you know, we need to deal with that. So,
Absolutely.
thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
I was a career prosecutor too, so, but that doesn't negate looking at it from a fairness standpoint. Thank you so much. Anything else?
Now I move that we adjourn.
All right, so moved. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. And it is now 6:31 PM. Thank you all so
Good
very
job.
much.